Good morning, everyone. My name is Zeno Lancaster. I'm the managing attorney at Lancaster Law Firm here, headquartered in Nashville, North Carolina. We have offices in Hendersonville. We just opened an office in Canton, in Haywood County. So we have offices all over Western North Carolina so far. Love to help you with any of your real estate transaction needs, any of your real estate development needs, all of that. We have 3 other attorneys other than myself. A huge paralegal staff, in-house title abstractors, all sorts of things to make sure your closings and whatnot go smoothly, quickly, efficiently, and are well communicated, which might be the most important part of all of that. So if you haven't worked with us, we hope you'll try us out soon. I post lives every Tuesday. We'll be moving these to 10 a.m. as we get these worked out and see how it works best, while trying to manage a law firm at the same time. 10 a.m. is going to be a little easier, I think, to get posted on time. And there's certain things I have to do in the morning before I get on here. And sometimes those bleed over in the crazy world of real estate. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about realtors coming to closings. I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this. We have different mentalities, different theories on this from all of our realtors. Some come to every closing, no matter what, or they send someone if they can't make it. It's that important to them. Some never come. And then some come when they can, and of course when they can't. So we're going to talk about why it's important to try to come, and what you can do if you're not able to come to closing, because you're not always able to. I get it. Even I'm not able to be at every closing. That's why I have help. But anyway, so what are some reasons realtors need to come to closing? Well, number one, I almost always get asked for keys when the realtors aren't there. Almost always. I would say 9 out of 10 times. Well, okay, what do we do about keys? And I have to say, well, you'll need to ask your realtor about that if you haven't already dropped them off, of course. And if you have, hopefully you've told the client, hey, we've dropped them off or whatever. My office, so you know, has listing agents. If you're listening, if you drop off keys at my law firm, you're going to sign an envelope that says you're good to have us turn these over to the buyers. We don't hold keys. We're not paid to hold keys. We don't like the liability of holding keys, most of which aren't labeled in any way. They're going to get lost, and then everyone's going to blame Lancaster Law Firm. So we do have you sign an envelope that says, we're good with you handing this over, and if you're not, that's okay. You're going to keep them until we get recorded. And I think that is pretty fair given what we're all paid in this industry to do. I think holding keys for an extra hour or two, if you're not comfortable with us handing them over, is okay. I don't consider keys to be possession of a home. So before everyone goes crazy in my comments, if I give you a key to a house, I don't consider that to be you over there throwing a party and having a bonfire and moving furniture and knocking down walls. I often tell my clients, do not go over there until it's recorded unless you have the permission of the seller. So FYI there. But if you're asking me, again, the only way I'm able to give them keys is if you drop them off. And in that event, you're going to sign something saying that you're okay with us handing them. So you've given us that permission, haven't you? So anyway, there you go on keys. But if you're there, you can explain all of that. You can take care of that and control that if that's important to you. What's more important is we have, especially listing agents, and I'm not trying to pick on listing agents. I do find that listing agents come to closing far less than buyer's agents do. I don't know why that is. Listing agents, I'd love your comments, in the comments below. Why you think it might not be important. A couple of recent ones we've had that were kind of a little difficult because they didn't come. We had a couple of clients, it's actually, I think we had 2 or 3 in the past week or so, kind of somewhat randomly. They were using the money for something else, which is always the case. These folks were using the money to purchase in another state with another office, another attorney, officer, title insurance company, and no one had told us that. We were simply we drafted and then we signed their seller documents with them, and of course those get delivered to a closing attorney that wasn't us on either of these transactions. And I'm sure that closing attorney also doesn't know that those proceeds are supposed to be sent somewhere, but they wanted their proceeds to be wired to, their purchase transaction in another state. But we didn't know anything about that. And it wasn't that the realtor wasn't there. They weren't. So we couldn't ask them or anything like that. But when we called them on both of these transactions, no one answered. Guys, if you're not going to be at your closing, you have to be on your phone. You know, I tell my paralegals, and if I'm going to sit through a closing that they're the paralegal on, they can't leave. There are things we need to get from the lender. There are mistakes that we find in the loan packages. There are changes we need to make to like a deed if they want their middle initial added. Some people are very particular about that. Or if they want their mailing address changed for tax bills, stuff like that. I need to be able to hand that paralegal that information so they can work on it efficiently and fast, so that when we get through signing, it's all done and we can get this sucker recorded fast and all of that. They don't get to go to lunch if they schedule a closing at noon. They're not going to lunch at noon. They're going to sit through and wait until we're done with signing, and then they can go to lunch. And so I don't let my own staff leave during a closing that they're assigned to if it's happening in the office. I really hope you guys will consider coming to your own closings, or at least being available by phone. In both these instances, we weren't able to get anyone available by phone. My paralegal had to sit with the seller for about 45 minutes, which is about 30 minutes longer than is typical. On a seller side, they have other appointments, they have other work to do. You guys are calling them and asking them why they're not calling you right back or answering the phone. It's because another realtor didn't show up to their closing, and they're in 30 minutes longer with the seller who's saying simply, so-and-so, can you please help me with this? Is there something you can do to help? I'm scared. My purchase is happening in another state, etc. And the realtor supposedly had all of this information. And also, listen, we're trying to make all of you look good. If you use our office, we are trying to make you look good with your clients. It is very difficult to do that if you don't show up, haven't given us information, and aren't available by the phone. So I'm not trying to harp or fuss at anyone. I just think that you guys should definitely be a little aware of that. For goodness sakes, here's another example. We get once every month. It's not that much. You guys do a pretty good job about this, I think. Once or twice a month, we get a realtor. Hey, everything's signed, but the commissions are wrong. That is the wrong order. Hey, everything's signed, but the commissions are wrong. You guys need to be reviewing these settlement statements when we send them out. If nothing else, check your commissions right away, and let us know up front, are the commissions right? Because I'm telling you, if other attorneys' offices, the seller signing them, the buyer signing them, whatever, it's something they just don't seem to catch very often. It's the realtors that seem to catch the realtor commissions, which makes sense to me. But I guess all of this is to say, be involved. Don't move on to the next transaction too quickly. See it through to the end. It's not going to take very long for you to do that. It's a huge help to us. And I promise you it's going to get you more business, because in the rare instances, but the strong impression ones where you're not there for your client and they need you there for their purchase coming up, or to get to you know how stressful it is for everybody when they're buying and selling to say, oh, don't worry, I've got the keys taken care of. They don't know these how these work, these lock boxes, and how keys get exchanged between realtors, and they don't know any of that. Most of them haven't. A lot of times, it's their first transaction. This is all rush into them. All we're going to be able to tell them is you need to ask your realtor, and if you're not around, they're probably not going to use you again. I can certainly tell you, if we're not around for you guys, y'all aren't going to use us again. And I've seen it happen plenty of times. Hopefully you'll come to me and talk to me about it first, and we can iron that out. But I'm just telling you, there's plenty of times where, whether a mistake, perceived or real, has led folks to use other law firms. I promise you, the clients will do it to realtors too, guys. So trying to help. Make sure you're there, available by phone. I think most of the people we work with are. Most of you do a great job, and most of you mean to do a great job. So this is a little feedback on that. So hope to see you at the next closing. Stop by. We have a great office, friendly people. We'll get it done quickly so that you can get back to selling, get back to buying, and you won't have to take much time out of your day to do it. But again, if you're not going to be there, no problem. Just make sure you got your phone with you. That pretty much solves it. Because if we do have one of those questions that come up, We can buzz you real quick, get the answer, and then it's knocked out. Again, my name is Zeno Lancaster, Lancaster Law Firm. Please post any comments in the section below. Let me know if you think I'm wrong or if I'm off on this. Any questions below. Please invite anyone to the group that you think would benefit from being in the group, that could bring good insight and wisdom, because we're all learning from this group. Please make sure you follow me on Facebook. You probably are if you're in this group, but if not, please go follow my personal page. We also have Lancaster Law Firm as a page on Facebook. Follow on Instagram, flying_casual is me, and at Lancaster Law Firm on Instagram. If you guys have worked with us and haven't left a Google review, and you will leave one and mention my staff, they will get bonuses. I'm throwing this out there. It doesn't benefit me. It's less money out of my pocket. It is less beer money and all of that for me. They really appreciate it. They really deserve it. So I hope you'll consider doing that. And anyway, have a great week, guys. Thanks.